guys, this is Diaries of a Farmhouse. I'm Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So most of us are in winter right now. So that means less light and a little bit colder temperatures for our plants, which means that you may be looking into a grow light. I have several grow lights. I have one behind me. I have one in the other room. I have a grow light bulb. I have several. I think I have 3 in my greenhouse, and I think that's it. But grow lights can be super beneficial to your plants in the winter time, promoting growth year round and just keeping them overall very happy. So I just want to start off by saying that if you are a new plant parent and you are wondering if you need grow lights to get through the winter, I would say save your money until you absolutely need them. I have gone several years without grow lights. This last year was the first year, and I've had, my collection was not as extensive, so I had a small enough amount of plants that I could place them in different windows and kind of supplement the light that way, and just move them away from the windows when it got cold or at night, which I still do with some of my plants. So I would say if you're starting out, don't run to the store and get a grow light right away. Wait until it's a necessity for you. When you have too many plants to be able to fit them all by a window and keep them happy, maybe you want to put some plants in an area where they're not getting the natural light. So wait until they're a necessity. Or, I mean, if you want one, go get one. But in my opinion, I feel like if you're starting out, you don't have to run and go get one right away. But I am very happy that I have mine. I will talk about the companies that I got them from. I was able to work with a company called Niello to get a couple of the grow lights I'm going to show you today. And I'm going to show you the growth that my plants have been making with them. I'm going to talk about what do the colors mean when you're choosing your grow lights, the spectrum that your plant needs, and also how to pick the best one for your plants and what the watts mean. So let's go ahead and get into it. You might be asking yourself what the colors mean in grow lights. You might have seen ones that look like the one behind me. You might have seen them blue, purple, red, maybe red and orange. And basically what this is the PAR spectrum that your plant needs to promote photosynthesis. So what basically PAR is photosynthetic. Oh my god, we cannot say that. Photosynthetic. PAR is a photosynthetic active radiation. God, that took me forever to say. But anyway, PAR is the spectrum that promotes photosynthesis in plants. I did not know that, so I'm glad I looked it up. But basically, when you're looking at the spectrum of light, there's a certain spectrum that we can see with the naked eye, and then there's parts of it that we don't. Your plant can see pretty much everything that we can see, well, not see, but absorb everything that we can see, and some outside of that spectrum. So their spectrum for PAR is 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. So you want a grow light to incorporate that spectrum of light, or maybe even a little bit more. So I will talk about the spectrums of the lights that I have, as well as like the wattage and the nanometers that they cover. But that is what you need for your plants to promote photosynthesis. We're looking at colors. Photosynthesis happens during the red part of that spectrum and the blue light part of that spectrum. So that is why some grow lights have these 2 colors that you can set your grow light to. When we're looking at these colors, red promotes blooming and fruit. So if you put a plant, a vegetable underneath that light, it's going to promote it to start blooming and creating more fruit. Whereas the blue light promotes foliage and plant structure. So a lot of times grow lights will incorporate both of these, which is why you'll see kind of a purple hue on a lot of these lights, because they're incorporating both of those to promote your plant to bloom and create a better structure and foliage. A lot of lights like the ones that I have are full spectrum, which means that they cover all that whole spectrum of light that we talked about earlier, and it mimics sunlight. So I think I only have one, and I will show you in a little bit. I only have one that has the different spectrums, and it doesn't have blue, it has red and orange. Still mimicking that sunlight spectrum. Let's talk about the three different types of grow lights. So the first one is fluorescent, and this is still a pretty common type of grow light. It produces less heat than a HID, high intensity discharge grow light, which is good for your plants because you're not having to worry about heat coming off of your grow light. And also it is more cost effective. It still covers the spectrum that your plants need to grow. Moving on to LED, which is what I have. LED lights will last a lot longer. They produce less heat, and they are more cost effective. They take in less energy, and they consume less energy. The last one is an HID grow light, which is a high intensity discharge light. And I believe from my research, this is the light that most like commercial growers use when growing plants. But it does produce a lot more heat, which can damage your plants. For me, I would be concerned about that being in my house and causing some kind of like fire or something. I'm sure that it's not a big deal, but I tend to be kind of worrywart about that kind of stuff. So, but it does produce enough heat to burn your plants. It has more energy pull, which might, hike that energy bill up. But it does produce more intense light, which is better for growing your plant. So let's get into watts, because normally when you're looking at buying a grow light, it'll tell you how many watts it is. So mine range from 20 to 30, and I think 150 for a couple of them that are in my greenhouse. So typically, to promote the most growth in your plants, you will want something higher than 20 watts, or 20 or more. Anything below that is going to be considered low light. Anything from 20 and above mimics indirect to direct sunlight. So, and you can always move your plants away from your grow light if they look like they might be getting too much. So lastly, let's talk about Kelvin, because some grow lights do show Kelvin in the description. So typically you will want something between 3,000 Kelvin to 6,500 Kelvin. Both of these will promote growth in your plants. 3,000 Kelvin promotes budding and flowering, and then the 6,500 Kelvin promotes growing and growth in young plants. Okay, so if you hear the heater in the background, I'm sorry, but I'm also filming this and I'm a little bit sick, so this is one of the grow lights I've gotten from Niello. So this one does have a timer. It does not have like the different colors, but it's full spectrum, so it covers the full power spectrum. And then it is a 150 watt grow light, and I feel like these plants just have so much growth on them. If I have a plant that needs a little more light, I usually try to cram it up on these shelves so that it gets these lights. So, and also I have to tell you, this clip is like so strong. This light is not moving at all. Definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so this is a standing light that I got from Amazon. This one is 40 watts. I think that's per like light strand. These like bend around. You can move them wherever you need them, so that's kind of cool. It does have a timer too. Let me get it. Here, look at this. This one you can change to just red spectrum, just the white or orange light, and then you could do both. I usually just leave both on there, so there's that one. So now we're in the greenhouse. I got these lights off Amazon. They are strip lights. They have a timer, and they're a full spectrum 20 watt per panel, I believe. The plants love them. I had both of them on the ceiling in here, but I decided to move stuff around, so I now was able to work with Niello with this grow light. This is a T5's full spectrum, 30 watt. I believe that's per bulb. It's super bright. It doesn't have a timer, but that's okay because I don't mind turning them on when I get home. These, you're supposed to mount them to the ceiling, but I just tied it to the roof of my greenhouse. So, yeah, I think I'll really like having this in here because it's a lot brighter than the panels, and it should be more wattage than the panels that I had in here before, so we'll see how that goes. Thanks for checking out my video today. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or any video suggestions, leave them in the comments below, or leave them on my Instagram at madd.plants, or you could check out diariesoffarmhouse.shop, which is our shop page, where we sell things like this little cute owl pot. And then in the summertime, we also sell plants. So you could also head over to our website, www.diariesoffarmhouse.com, and sign up for our newsletter, and that way you don't miss out on any new products if we're going to local farmers markets or any sales. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.